Hey, it's Coach with Tactical Hyve, and I'm not on the range today, as you can see, but I want to talk to you about your jack-of-all-trades AR, or jack-of-all-trades rifle, but, well, we're going to go AR because they're just so damn versatile. Okay, so you can do a lot with ARs. You can take everything from a little AR pistol all the way out to long range, and there's a bunch of different calibers that you can choose. For your go-to rifle, you're going to want a fairly common caliber. You have to make decisions, barrel length, you want to be legal. Now, if you want to make that your pistol, which again, this is all going to be up to you. These are just things for you to think about, right? If you want to make a pistol and it's legal in your area, then yeah, go for it. Most everybody else is going to require a 16-inch barrel. All right, whether that's pin and welded, so you can get a 14.5-inch barrel and pin and weld your muzzle device on there for a total of 16 inches. We'll give you, something that's going to be legal, because you want to be legal as much as you possibly can. For most people, you're going to want something fairly simple. If you're just starting out, straight up, something like this one. Okay. So I just painted this one the other day on a video, and I've got a red dot on it, just a SIG Romeo 5, and a flashlight. Put my vertical foregrip on there. You can take this, and for most applications, for home defense, ranch defense, anything out to about 200 yards, you're good to go. All right, so this is a very versatile rifle. This one's in 5.56, so ammunition's easy to find and fairly inexpensive, even though nothing's really inexpensive these days. So something set up like this is probably going to be what most people are going to choose. This one has a fixed stock, but it's set at a certain length. You can adjust it into it, and so many different pieces and parts out there. I'm not going to give you a build list. Get on the internet, take a look around. There's a lot of options these days. When I run a red dot, I like to run a fixed front sight. So a fixed front sight, your irons, it's a good backup. Plus, if your irons are sighted in, it's real easy to, you drop your red dot on and then you just adjust it so when you're looking through your rear to the front, that red dot should be, dancing right there on the center of your front post. Okay, it's an easy way to sight it in, and it gives it, some versatility there, right? You can take this off, put something else on as you need, but just for a jack-of-all-trades rifle, this is going to get you through most applications that you can think about. If you live someplace that you're going to be hunting, or you want to be able to reach out a little bit farther, then you might consider going to something like this one. Okay, again, this isn't really an AR, but it's close enough, and it's set up almost the same way, except this is a 5X powered scope, right? And then I like to put a red dot on top, just for, it's good for close in as well as at range. So this could work as an all-around jack-of-all-trades rifle for your application. Okay, if there's some I don't know what your life is like, where you're set up, but if you've got some range that you want to be shooting at, then something like this may work out pretty good for you. Okay, again, it's got a flashlight on, vertical foregrip, and then that sight. If you want to stick with ARs, something like this is good. Again, 16-inch barrel. Okay, so it's legal. Here's your powered optic, red dot on top. Now, this powered optic is mounted a little bit lower than the other one, so you want to have your a folding front sight, just so you don't get that shadow in there when you're looking through it. So this one gets put down. Now, if weight's an issue, this is a KP15. It's nice lightweight. Again, you're looking at, this is a 14-inch barrel with a pinned and welded muzzle device on it. Gives me 16 inches, keeps me legal. I've got a primary arms 1X prism sight on here. So as my eyes get older, these are easier to see. It's got a bullet drop compensator for a 5.56 round. And again, I got that front sight on there, and fixed front sight. And a flashlight. And I have a flashlight on there. And instead of a vertical, now I got an angle foregrip. Again, personal choice. Okay, but this one it's nice and light. So again, this one could be that jack of all trades that we're looking after. The last one, this is a home defense gun. It's in 300 blackout. It's got a flashlight and a red dot. Got folding front sights because I'm not the only one that's going to be using this. So I just want them to be able to, have an unobstructed view of that red dot when they bring it to their eye. Now, 300 blackout is not something I'm really going to consider jack of all trades, just because the ammunition is not as readily available as 5.56. But if home defense is something that that's all the job is going to do, something like this would be a pretty good setup. This has a 12-inch barrel and a 4-inch linear compensator that's pinned and welded, so it can be a rifle. And because you want to stay legal, or as legal as you possibly can these days, because if you need to use this in a self-defense shooting, you're going to have some explaining to do why your weapon is not legal. Now, that just puts you at risk. It doesn't mean that you're going to go to jail or anything, but you're definitely probably going to lose the gun, and you want to keep out of that mud. Okay. Now, so of all these, I'd say this is going to be what most people are going to need. Fixed or adjustable stock, whatever you need. There's a bunch of different aftermarket pistol grips, so you can get them. This one's a Magpul. It's a little more vertical, less angle, easier on the wrist. Flashlight, any flashlight. This is an old Surefire, but it doesn't need to be that bright. It's good enough for what I'm going to use it for. Your optic on an AR, your upper receiver rolls to right about here. You want to push it out as far as you can, so that because you're going to be looking at the threat anyway, and you're just putting the red dot on the threat. The closer this is here, the bigger the housing appears in your vision, so it actually blocks more of your potential vision. So you push it out a little bit farther and you're good. I like the push button for my light, so you don't have light ADs. Not that important these days, but old habits, right? Now, the way I set this up is, I know, my shooting style and the style that I teach, we go off your cheek weld. A lot of guys, they want to put the gun down here and then bring their head down. I tend to bring the sights up to my cheek and then drag that in there. Doesn't put a whole lot of stock on your shoulder, but it's 5.56. I mean, there's not that much kick to it anyway. And now my head is in a more vertical aspect, so I'm used to walking around with my head up, maybe canted to the side. But if I'm all crunched down like this, it's going to affect my mobility. And you want to be, you want to be able to move when you're gunfighting. Now, for your vertical, the way I place this, I just hold it up here like this, where I can see that's comfortable, and I got my squared off stance, and I just bring my hand out here, and then I like to put it. If this was a pistol, this is my pistol grip. So I'm just going to move that same thing. I'm pointing my thumb and bring it right there. And if I need to use the light's right up here, depending on your thumb size, whatever. All right, so I just come up here, punch out, find that spot on my cheek, drag it back, roll my head just a little bit so I can see that front sight, and I'm good to go. All right, so that's where I want this. Now, some guys like, oh no, I want it out here like this. Well, this is great. This kind of reaching out far and pulling it in, that works fine if you're plan on shooting a lot of shots at something that's not moving, because you want to put a lot of rounds down range really fast, because you can control the muzzle better that way. But if you're clearing houses, or you fatigue really fast when you got your arms straight out here all the time, after a while you just fatigue sets in. If you're clearing a house, okay, fine. Clearing a hotel or a hospital or something that's, you're going to be busy for a while, you're going to fatigue pretty quickly like that. Now, we teach a squared up stance, not bladed off. And there's a couple reasons for that. But the biggest one is mobility, because if somebody's shooting at me, I need to be able to move to the side to side. That's going to make them have to work a little bit harder to hit me. Okay, so that's why we square up. Yeah, it presents a bit of a bigger target, but it's also, you know, getting shot in one lung is survivable. I mean, it's gonna suck, don't get me wrong, but you're survivable there. If I'm turned sideways and I take that same shot, it could get both of my lungs, and it puts you in a whole other category, okay? So we teach that squared up stance. So a rifle like this, red dot, out to 200 yards, you know, your eyesight's good, you know, whatever you can see, you can hit. You know, flashlight so you can positively ID your target. And having a vertical just gives you, it just makes it a little more comfortable for me, for lack of better, you know, and if you have to hit somebody with it, you got two things to grab onto if you're gonna smack somebody with a gun. Now, I'm not telling you you're gonna have to, but you never know. So the one other thing you want to have is a sling, because you don't want to have to just put this thing down. You need to be able to, you know, use your hands and have the gun still attached to you. The way I like to run my slings, I got a single point sling adapter here on the rear plate of the rifle. And then this is just it's kind of my version of a VTAC sling. You get your friction adapter here. And what I like to do is take just a loop of 550 cord and girth hitch it into your sling adapter. And you can get slings, you know, like this online, you know, look around. Like I said, VTAC makes a decent one. There's some others out there. Okay, so my other end here, just got a old H&K clip. So if I want to run single point, and you know, I grew up running single point, so that's what I like to do most of the time. Right, so I just throw this over, and now with a little bit of adjustment, so I got this right here, just pull the loop, opens it up, so I can adjust, I can change shoulders if I want. Just makes it that much easier. Okay, now, everybody says, oh yeah, when you drop it here, like a transition to my pistol, now I got this thing banging around on my knees and stuff. In a critical time like that, I don't think I'm gonna notice, but if I'm gonna have my hands off the gun for a little bit and I wanna cinch it down, I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna take this clip off, and then I've got a little clip adapter right here, a little D-ring I can hook into. Okay, so now I've got this 2-point. So I can run 2-point like that, and when it comes down to it, I can cinch this up and it's gonna stay nice and just attached to me. It's not gonna bounce around, not gonna be hitting me in the legs. And easily adjustable. So these are the points that, you know, for your jack of all trades rifle, a lot of things to consider. And, you know, when you talk about jack of all trades, especially with the AR platform, it's so versatile that you really can get it into really a niche thing or kind of an overall type use rifle, kind of like this one. All right, so but there's still, among there's those other choices that, you know, you've got to make. But mine, for me, is going to be something set up like this. Pistol grip, red dot, vertical foregrip, and a light on a 16-inch standard AR. So in conclusion, this is what I would call a jack of all trades for what the situation and the environment that I consider myself to be in. Your mileage may vary, but luckily the AR-15 platform, you can adjust it. It's so adaptable. I'm not sure Eugene Stoner actually understood that, but it's really grown into a really good platform. A lot of aftermarket stuff out there. Look around, you know, the internet's a wonderful, wild place, and you'll be able to find pretty much exactly what you want. Anyway, if you like this content, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment.